Well, President Trump is hearing this. Another day of growing calls to release those Epstein files. President Trump now directing Attorney General Pam Bondi to ask a court for the release of, quote, pertinent grand jury testimony in the case of the deceased convicted sex offender and the former friend of Donald Trump. The president made that announcement last night in a social media post, saying his decision comes based on the ridiculous amount of publicity given to Jeffrey Epstein, his words. The president also called the Epstein case a, quote, scam perpetuated by the Democrats, while also saying the whole matter should end right now. In response, Attorney General Bondi posted on social media last night that the Justice Department is, quote, ready to move the court tomorrow to unseal the grand jury transcripts. Meanwhile, President Trump now says he will sue the Wall Street Journal over its latest reporting about a letter Trump allegedly sent to Jeffrey Epstein back in 2003. According to the Journal, the letter was part of a larger gift Epstein's former girlfriend, Ghislaine Maxwell, was preparing. It was an album of dozens of letters from Epstein's friends and associates to mark his 50th birthday. People who have reviewed the notes tell the Journal the pages are among the documents the Justice Department reviewed when it investigated Epstein and Maxwell years ago. It's unclear whether these documents are part of the Trump administration's recent review. The Journal reports it reviewed the letter bearing Trump's name, describing it as bawdy. The paper writes the letter, quote, contains several lines of typewritten text framed by the outline of a naked woman, which appears to be hand-drawn with a heavy marker. The letter concludes, happy birthday, and may every day be another wonderful secret. NBC News has not independently verified that document. In an interview with the Journal on Tuesday, the president denied writing that letter, saying, quote, this is not me. This is a fake thing. I never wrote a picture in my life. I don't draw pictures of women. It's not my language. It's not my words. The Journal reports the president then threatened to sue the paper if it published the piece, which it did publish. The Justice Department has not responded to the Journal's request for comment, and the FBI declined to comment as well. Last night, after that story was published, Trump slammed the piece in a Truth Social post, calling it false, malicious, and defamatory. He went on to say he will be suing the Journal, its parent company News Corp, and its owner, Rupert Murdoch. So, Jonathan Lemire, this is an explosive piece. You can read through the details. There's text, dialogue written, typed out. There's a photo, a drawn picture of a woman around it, as well as part of this birthday gift to Jeffrey Epstein more than 20 years ago. Donald Trump says it's not true. He says he's suing. Wall Street Journal stands by the story.
They do. This story had been rumored for a few days. It was echoing throughout the sort of New York and Beltway media sphere that the Journal had something and had something big, and the White House was trying to squash it. And in fact, as the paper chronicles, there was a phone call Tuesday night with President Trump, which he denied it. Trump himself posted on social media that he called editors at the Wall Street Journal and Rupert Murdoch himself to say, don't run this. And in Trump's accounting, Murdoch said he would try to stop it, but then didn't. So that's some of the backstory here. But this is seemingly a big deal. It's further, the letter, if accurate, suggests more connections between Trump and Epstein. We knew they were friends, certainly. Trump has spoken about that. They've been photographed together. But it is a pretty bawdy letter. There's an imagined dialogue between Trump and Epstein that is, some could view potentially incriminating or at least weird. The drawing is pretty graphic, which we won't fully describe here. Caddy that Trump, allegedly wrote on this letter to Epstein. Now, Trump is vociferously denying it. We have seen him intimidate media organizations before the threat of lawsuit. We opened the show talking about how he has sort of his shadow covers the media landscape right now. So we will see. The White House is vociferously denying this. They say they're going to put out more material, although we should note grand jury transcripts far from the full thing. Where do you think this goes from here? Is this revelation going to impact not how Americans view this story, but also Republicans and how they will now handle this going forward, as they've been willing to defy Trump at least a little bit to this point?
I don't know. I mean, I think anyone who thinks that Donald Trump doesn't have a bawdy side to his character has been living under a rock for the last 20 years, right? I mean, we know this. The Access Hollywood did nothing to stop Donald Trump getting elected in 2016, and he's saying it on tape. So I don't think there is much surprise about this in terms of what it may or may not reveal about Donald Trump's character and his attitude to sex and women. We've seen that before. I mean, I think what it does, perhaps paradoxically, is it gives the White House, as we saw that with Caroline Leavitt, we saw it with J.D. Vance, who finally weighed in on the story late last night. It actually gives them some kind of an opportunity to turn this into a kind of railing against the press. And that's always a very much more comfortable zone for them to be in. And if they can say, look, this is now, let's shift the focus, right? The next distraction, let's stop thinking about Epstein. And you're seeing that with some of the influencers. I think Laura Loomer has already kind of weighed in on that too, that this is actually the White House against the press. Yet again, the press is maligning us. I think that's probably safer ground for the White House, in fact.
Yeah, and David Drucker, it seems to be actually a perfect off-ramp for a lot of these influencers. We've been talking about these MAGA influencers who have said, you promised us you were going to release the files. You haven't released the files. We're going to stay on this until you release the files. Oh, look what the big bad Wall Street Journal did to Donald Trump. He's once again a victim of the mainstream media. And they immediately, it's not like they have short attention spans. They see the 88% in this poll, and suddenly they're going, oh, now we can attack the Wall Street Journal. Again, Murdoch owned, but now we can attack the mainstream media, and that can fill up our shows for the next 2, 3, 4 days, and we don't have to talk about the Epstein files.
Yeah, that's correct. There's a couple of things going on here, Joe. First of all, I think we ought to find a video of Donald Trump reciting the snake, right? Because he lived by the conspiracy theory, died by the conspiracy theory. He's fueled so many of these, and it's been a part of his political strength, particularly with the irregular voters. So the facts might be murky to some, but this is really an issue of Trump's own making when you really look at it. But the other thing here is, as you know, Joe, for many Republicans, they simply don't believe negative reporting, right? And 25 years ago, we would have talked about bias in reporting, but not whether the basic facts were correct, but it would have been about how they were presented. One of the things that has worked so well for Trump politically is that he will simply refute facts, refute stories. Many voters with years of distrust in the media, believing it was biased toward the Democrats against Republicans, believe Trump's refusals and denials. And so instead of having a conversation about whether or not, I should, as a voter, should I support or not support Trump based on these facts? These facts aren't true. They're out to get Trump, and then Trump always turns it around. And they're not really out to get me. They're out to get you. This has worked very well for him. And it's why I'm always skeptical that things like this that, in theory may or should cause an administration all sorts of political problems. I always have a wait and see approach.
Yeah, I mean, it would be, Willie, any one of these things would probably end the political career of just about everybody on the political landscape. But Donald Trump has moved past everything from Access Hollywood to January the 6th. He got reelected again. Chances are good a bawdy birthday card, if he did in fact send that, even if his own voters see stronger evidence of it, not going to impact him with a base.
And as David said, it's a measure of how well he has conditioned his supporters to distrust the media, that he can convince them that the Wall Street Journal, owned by Rupert Murdoch, is a tool of the left. The larger point, though, Jonathan, even if this story doesn't stick with his voters, is the fact that is whispered by some of these same podcasters and influencers who support Donald Trump, that Donald Trump was friends with Jeffrey Epstein. He's no wrongdoing. He says he didn't do anything wrong in this larger case, but that they were friendly, and that he may have written him a letter on his birthday, and that they did go to Atlantic City and hang out in the 80s and 90s. So that is out there when he's so defensive about this and saying it should go away, it's a scam, it's a hoax. The very people who support him but are so invested in the Epstein story are saying, why are you so anxious for this story to go away?
Yeah, I think this is one of those moments where two things are true at once. Certainly, as you just discussed, Trump has been very good at moving past a lot of scandals that would have doomed any other political candidate, Access Hollywood chief among them. It is not a surprise that he uses the, quote, in his words, locker room talk sometimes. But this time, the locker room talk will be attached to a significant criminal conspiracy. And there's certainly no evidence of any crime committed by President Trump, no wrongdoing at all, yet that it's going to fuel questions of this unseemly relationship. And that's part of it. And I don't think, as much as, no doubt, those on the right can now rally against the Wall Street Journal, can rally against the media, at the same time, their fundamental questions about the Epstein matter persist. I don't think those are going to go away. This is a conspiracy theory created largely on the right. It has fueled Republicans and MAGA influencers for a long time. They have ignored Trump's wishes to let this go. And I think right now, Willie, that's going to persist. And the grand jury testimony, yeah, that'd be a piece of this if it comes out, if indeed the Attorney General is able to release some of that. But that's still a small part of the investigation. Now, some of it, of course, will never see the light of day. It's sensitive. It involves, as we've heard from Tom Winter and others, there's no actual list. Some of the material there involves minors. That, of course, shouldn't be released. But there's still going to be questions about what else is there. And it's hard to see those fading anytime soon.
Well, and Willie, Jonathan just made the key point on why this is different from other scandals or dust-ups or whatever you want to call it. This has been a conspiracy theory that has been pushed by MAGA. This has been a conspiracy theory that's sort of been a foundational part of the MAGA base and their worldview, their view toward the federal government for years now. So the fact that NBC News, Tom Winter, Ken Dilanian, David Rode, the fact that they all say there is no list, there is no there. If there ever were, it got destroyed years and years ago. And there's no more incriminating information on Donald Trump, again, based on their reporting, NBC News reporting. That's one of the reasons why the media and the, I think, Democrats, for the longest time, haven't acted on this, not because they were part of some grand conspiracy theory involving Tom Hanks and Oprah. It's because they saw the reporting that there was no there. And so here we are at a very interesting time where the mainstream media has believed it, the Democrats have believed it, now it's the MAGA base who would be the last to believe, need to believe for Donald Trump that there's no grand conspiracy theory here that the deep state took part in. But, that may take a while to get from here to there.